We are here. It's ASM 2021. It's the night block. It's the witching hour. We have megaslayer321a here to purge these witches with this witchery with some genie magic. It's Shantae and the Seven Sirens, most recent Shantae game. Take it away.
Hey all, you've probably heard me a few times on host, and now you get to see me running a game. I did have an image up for a picture of me, but apparently looking like a monster that eats through rock and attacks unwary adventurers was not the way to go. But I hope you enjoy these wonderful dancing hula girls before we get the game started.
Yeah, you gotta use like a painting of Cronus or something instead.
Thanks for the luck, Stylen. I'd really appreciate it. Okay, so timing starts as soon as I hit X on this screen. Also, that New Game Plus is a lie. What it really is magical mode from one of the previous games where you get more magic and take double damage. But anyway, so I'll give you a 3, 2, 1 and go, and then we can start. So 3, 2, 1, go. So, as previously stated, this is Shantae and the Seven Sirens. The general lore of this game is that Shantae has come to this island that I honestly have forgotten the name of to have a vacation, but as this is a video game, everything almost immediately goes wrong.
She's gotta go in for one last job.
Until the next game comes out. So this is your standard Metroidvania fair type game where you there's platforms and dungeons and places that you have to go to, and then you get abilities that allow you to go back to other places and re-expand where you can go. Right now, however, we're just running around the island meeting our genie friends and marking them down on a list. And the reason I saved there just before wasn't because I'm terribly afraid that something is going to go wrong and I'm going to have to reset the run. It's because they force you to. It's the only forced save in the game. Right. Kind of hoping that that crab that I just killed, yeah, they're killed. Every monster is hurt in the making of this game, was going to give me a card. I am going to let this text play out because there's something I want you to see. And it is this bit coming up here. This half genie zombie's name is Fill-In. Fill in the blank. There might be something more to her, I'm not sure. Well, that's unfortunate. So before we get out of this little prologue section of the game, we want to have 30 gems so we can immediately buy something, and we're a bit low, so I'm gonna... Okay, we'll be good. We're perfectly fine on gems now. Right. I mentioned earlier I wanted that crab to drop a card. Cards are things that we can equip onto Shantae that will change how things work slightly. They might make you do more damage, or they might make you take less damage. In that case, the crab card that I was hoping for makes Shantae crawl slightly faster. And as we are speedrunners, we want to go fast. So I'm just taking some damage as I make my way across to meet all our friends, who, let's see if I can remember their names. We have Harmony, we have Zappo, we have Fill in the Blank, we have that one I just got, which is the one I legitimately can't remember, and we have Plink. And as you can see, I just picked up 30 gems. And now that I've found my 5th friend, I get warped back to Arena Town. And there is a bit coming up where I have to not mash start, or I might soft lock myself. Also, for anyone who knows voice actors, the person who reads out the line for ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls is 100% the same voice actor as the person that plays Risky Boots. Totally coincidental.
How about that? A lot of coincidences so far.
Oh, and all the genies just got kidnapped in that cutscene I skipped.
Oh no.
So that right there was where I didn't want to mastery start, or I might have soft locked myself and not been able to exit this room. It has happened to me a few times. So the reason I wanted 30 gems, you just saw there, was to buy that pike ball item, which you will see very soon. It makes a ball of spikes float around me and deal damage to enemies when it hits them. But right now, we're just making our way to the first labyrinth, or dungeon, if you will. So if there's any donations that you'd like to read, this would be a perfect time.
Not currently, so I'd like to remind you to go to donate.ozspeedruns.com. We are raising money for Beyond Blue, a charity that does work in raising awareness and support for mental health problems in Australia. We have a bunch of incentives you can put your donation towards, including I'm going to really push for bringing a short hike into the set of games we're playing, increasing an extra category for Ratchet & Clank Deadlocked of New Game Plus Solo Co-op, and the world's hardest game.
I'm not sure what I want to go for, whether it's a short hike, because I'm pretty sure that one's getting kind of close, or the world's hardest game, because that one's not really close.
They both need your help, so make it happen. Start small and work up, I guess.
So you just saw the pike ball as I mistimed activating it, and got hit by an enemy that I should have defeated with it.
Yeah, when you said it's a standard Metroidvania, I was going to ask, so does that mean it's the sort where you got a gun, or the sort where you get a double jump and a dive kick? And given that we've got the Castlevania Bible right now, I'm gonna say it's the latter.
Yeah, kind of. Our main attack weapon is the hair whip, so we've got a whip, I guess.
Yep, that checks out.
Oh, there's our first card, but it's one that we don't want.
Oh, we've got all these Castlevania souls as well, so I guess we're similar.
See, this is what it's like to crawl with slow speed. Very slow. Actually gonna take that heart. So, we have made our way into our first dungeon, or labyrinth, as the community calls them, the Water Lily's Den. So this is one of the things that sort of separates it from your standard Metroidvania, in the fact that this game has dungeons and an overworld that we go into.
Oh, Zelda 2.
Kind of.
Original Metroidvania.
And now we have one of the main staples of this game, or this series really, the forced fight rooms, where we go into a room and we can't leave it until all the enemies are defeated. And that wet man was very nice to me, as he took 4 hits right away. The gimmick with the wet man is they will block your attacks, and you just have to duck, attack, stand attack, duck attack, stand attack to repeatedly to hit them. And sometimes they just block you forever.
Congrats on the crab soul as well.
Yes. Not as useful now. We only really wanted it for that first little crawl, as we're going to get a movement upgrade by the time we're done with this dungeon. That will kind of make it obsolete. But it is still useful to get as many cards as we can, even duplicates, as there is a person we can sell our duplicate cards to get gems later on, and we kind of need a lot of gems by the end of the game. Well, kind of. So the main gimmick of this dungeon are these, I guess, pressure plates that I'm standing on that make platforms rise or lower. And we're just about to come into to one of the first mid-boss. I jumped way too early there. The first mid-boss of the game. Risky Boots. I'm actually just going to heal because it took too much damage there. We're going to see this boss a lot. I hope you like seeing me beat her up.
Oh, good to know. We get back to the classic status quo.
So the strat here is just hit her a lot and use our pike ball to get in extra hits. And that's Risky 1 done. That is another room that I don't want to mash through. Otherwise, I could end up going into it with a black screen that won't disappear. So, I just rescued Plink, and she gave me the Dash Newt medallion, which is this form of movement. It allows us to dash slightly forward, faster than walking, and it allows us to crawl on walls. It becomes the main form of movement throughout the game, and allows us to get some jumps that we wouldn't otherwise be able to get. And I am doing it right. I thought I went through that a bit too quickly and was going to get crushed. Sorry, I cut myself off. I'm doing pretty good on gems. So the next gem cap we want to hit is 400, and having 250 here is very, very good. I usually have only around 200 here.
Oh, the dash is an attack as well?
Yes, and when he's doing that dash attack, he's invincible. Okay, so we're at the end of the first labyrinth and we're coming up to the first boss, Water Lily Siren. So the strat for this is very simple. We put on our pike ball, we dash through her a lot with our Newt dash. And so she has two states, one where she's invincible, which she is in the beginning, and one where she is hurtable, or vulnerable. She is vulnerable when she's in the light, and we use the two buttons on the side of the screen to move her left or right. So this is the strat, as you can see. This will one-cycle her, but ideally I'd like some of those lilies to fall to speed it up a bit. And that's the fight. Very simple, very straightforward. First boss done. And in classic Shantae fashion, when you defeat a boss, they explode. So, I mean, who's the real villain here? They are actually super missiles in this game, Nikasa, but we don't get them.
Oh, that's me using Nico's account.
Okay.
Yeah, still. Yes.
Yeah, they are not a very powerful form of damage in this game.
Nico-sa, more like Nico-sus.
We pick up those gems again. So yeah, after every labyrinth, we basically have a little fetch quest we have to go on to collect what is called a fusion stone. To hand into the genie we just saved, or the other half genie we just saved. This one requires me to get 2 fossils. Unfortunately, we do not need to be told we need to go on a quest to complete the quest. And whilst I'm doing these, they are perfect times to jump in with donations. Or questions from the chat for me to answer.
Yes, would indeed be great. So hit us up with some donations. Donate.ozspeedruns.com. You can also check out the incentives at incentives.ozspeedruns.com. Or you can just check out the ozspeedruns.com website. We've had a big refurbishment. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, we have a website now. I believe that was new this year.
Yeah, new to the World Wide Web.
Ow. So I don't want to get this, the heart squid of shame there, which I will admit I have picked up a time or two. Yeah, we do not collect any heart squids in this playthrough, and we do not increase our HP at all. So this is the first warp room you'll see. It allows me to just get around the island a lot quicker. Every town has their own warp, and there are some that are also in the underground sections, usually close to the entrance of a dungeon. So we're about to meet the comic relief character of the Shantae series, Bolo, everyone's favorite character. I'll tell you exactly what he's doing once we get to him. And we also meet the jerkbirds of this game. And while they're not too annoying here, they are annoying later on. So here's Bolo. He's hungry. So he had the great idea to eat this smooth barnacle. Because he was unable to bite through it, he threw it in the trash. He's a smart guy.
Does he instead want to eat a lumpy barnacle? Or are these just the fossils that we need?
Yeah, these are the fossils. I suppose that's just what I call them.
It's great. I mean, like, we don't have to choose between one fossil or the other. We get both the helix and the dome now.
Yeah, I think I call them fossils because the person we hand them into calls them fossils. So the person we have to hand them into is this scientist lady over here. You can tell she's a scientist because she's got goggles. So, once we've got the fusion stone, we can take it to our half genie that we have saved, and they will give us a bit of their special power, allowing us to be more like them. In the case of Plink, she gives us the ability to do the Sears dance. The Sears dance will it'll show off invisible things and will also highlight secret passages. And this game is very good about teaching you how to use the new dances and also movement tools they give you, because almost immediately after you get them, you have to use them for something. Like when I got the nuke dash, I had to use the nuke dash to get out of that area with Plink. In this case, now that I've got the Sears dance, I have to use it to get to the next town, which I have to go to get to the next labyrinth. And I'm also going to use it here to hopefully get some extra gems. Oh god, I am just running into every attack. I am so glad I didn't decide to make I'll donate $2 for every time I accidentally get hit. This time, like I did when I did Half Genie Hero.
Half Genie was more purely combat focused, right?
Kind of. I mean, I did the Pirate Queen's quest in the DLC, because I had a lot more fun with that. So, we're coming into my most hated part of this run, the dance minigame. So ideally we just need to get over 400 gems, but if we, which I have more than enough gems to get over, this minigame gives us 27, and depending on how many times you miss, it'll give you up to 100 additional gems. If you don't miss at all, you get 100, if you miss once, you get 50, and it'll at least give you 15 if you do terribly. I missed once there, and it was a very terrible miss. I really shouldn't have, but it's okay. That one I don't think I should have missed. Okay. So because I missed twice, I got 40 gems. But I got over 400 gems, which is all we need. So we needed to do that mini game because the chief of the city will not give us the useless item unless we complete it, unless we show that we have village spirit or something, I can't remember. So before we head out, we need to buy some things. We need to buy 2 shampoos and 1 silky cream. So we upgrade our... whoops, I needed to go into that warp room. So we upgraded our hair damage by 2 points, and we upgraded our hair whipping speed by 1. I hope I did that right and not the wrong way. But even if I did it the wrong way, we're fine, because we need to upgrade our hair speed to max by the end of the game. So the useless item, useless as it is, opens up this hatch. As you may have noticed, it kind of looks like a key. Which allows us to get to the next labyrinth, but before we can get there, we have to collect another item. Yes, I think I upgraded the wrong stuff. I should be fine. I was not whipping as fast as I should have been. So, we get the handle. Looks a bit like the cranks from the Resident Evil games, if I'm being honest.
So we gotta wait for Ashley Graham to start spinning them?
Unfortunately. Well, fortunately, no. We just have to plug it in. And if we jump just as we hit the water there, we will not sink. And we scare Lobster Girl, who, as you may have noticed, was that girl that was looking through the little porthole. You get an achievement if you don't scare her at all, but that requires you to crawl through every room that she's in.
Yeah, I was gonna ask what was up with that, since I thought Australia was just foreshadowing for a boss the first time.
These rock guys can give me good luck or bad luck. We want them to not roll towards us, and he's giving me pretty bad luck. These guys are fun because if you dance while they're up, they send coins to you.
They don't look very happy about it, though.
Yeah, well.
Very nice, Shantae.
They shouldn't have gems on their head. That's all I gotta say to them. So the gimmick in the second labyrinth is those key rooms that you just saw me go through, where I have to do a little puzzle to get a key to drop. And we have some more rocky guys, but these ones are a bit easier to destroy, as if they roll to the side of the room, we can drop a fire... Oh, he gave me... He wanted to hit me. And the other reason we really want them to just, sorry, I got a bit distracted there. The other reason we want them to not roll at us is because if they do, they deal 4 points of damage, and that's an entire heart. And I'm gonna just play it safe here and heal. I really wish I didn't have to do that, because I used a golden crab, which is the best heal item in the game, for any percent anyway, as it heals all our hearts and our MP. So this right here is one of the, I think, in fact, it is the only room that is on its own cycle.
So did the restaurant on a global timer the whole time?
Yeah, I think so. So there is a little oops. Okay, yeah, that definitely tells me I got the wrong hair speed, because I should have hit the top bit of that puzzle instead of the middle bit. Well, like I said, it's not that big of an issue. It just means I have to buy something else on the next purchase instead of the other thing I'd normally buy. So, Risky 2. Exact same strat, except this time we can dash through her when she's running at us. And our Newt Dash does the exact same amount of damage as our hair whip. And we definitely don't want to get hit by that. That is her most damaging attack. Right now, it only deals a full heart, but as we continue to fight her, it deals up to 10 points of damage. And now we just got the Drill Crab, which allows us to drill through sand. And we really want one of those little dust ball things to drop their card for us, as it makes our drill speed faster.
Shoutouts to Yoshi's Island.
I feel bad, but I don't get the reference.
Oh, there's just the digging work very similarly in that game.
Yeah, I never played Yoshi's Island. I didn't get it. Well, I never had a SNES or a 64 or any Nintendo console until the GameCube. And as you may have noticed, if you drill through the paths you've already drilled, you move faster. Try to do that whenever we can. No cards yet, that's unfortunate, but not surprising.
Yes, come on, RNG. You've betrayed us so much this marathon already.
Well, that was bad luck. Fortunately, before every boss, they give us a full HP and full MP recharge. So, we're coming up to the second boss, the something siren. It'll tell us in a second. All I remember is it says drills to the gills. The coral siren. So, this boss does a couple attacks. Through most of them, she is invulnerable. This is the one we want her to do, as it makes her vulnerable. And I'm not sure if my hair damage will make up for my lack of hair speed. We can 2-cycle this boss if I bought the right things. I'm quite positive I won't be able to 2-cycle it this time, though. So this is her second attack, where she will drop bombs on us, and we just dash through them to take no damage. And this is her third attack, where she dashes across the screen, and we can get a hit in if we're lucky. If I had bought the right speed, we would have definitely got the hit in. She's giving me good RNG here, but... yeah, she gave me good RNG there, but unfortunately I didn't have the right purchases to make it worthwhile. And the reason I'm jumping when I do that is twofold. One, it just makes it easier for me to mash X and square at the same time. And two, I find it funny when the pike ball doesn't spin around us in a perfect circle.
Yeah, take that, geometry.
Oh, please jump down. Please jump out to the foreground. Alright, this should do it. There we go. So the next fetch quest we have to do is we have to collect some seashells in the sea... something, not the seashore. But anyway, we have to collect some seashells to bring back to another scientist who will give us a... something. It has a fusion stone in it. But again, fortunately, we don't need to be told we need to collect these to start collecting them. So, once again, if any donos or you'd like to plug the charity...
I would love to plug the charity. After all, we are raising money for Beyond Blue, an Australian charity that works for the promotion and awareness of mental health issues throughout the country. So you can go to donate.ozspeedruns.com. Make any contribution of any size is always appreciated.
It is a great charity, and I'm glad that I can help support it at least once a year.
Mm-hmm.
This is our next warp room. We'll be coming back here later. And you got a little quick view at one of the next types of the next movement things we can do when you saw that stone block that looked a bit different to everything else. But we won't be able to do anything with that until we get through the next dungeon. Stono cards. Unfortunate. And those other colored crabs, the only real difference between them and regular crabs is they take more damage. So it is the deep sea domain where we must collect the seashells. And we also hope we get a crab card in here, because as you may be able to tell just from this portion of it, there is a lot of digging. Ooh, there's a crab card. Sorry, a dirt ball card.
Yeah, I'm confused by this digging. It seems like there's only one color of block, yet you clear one of them and it doesn't clear the whole lot.
Yeah, it's the way the game goes, unfortunately. It's not unlike drillers. Also, we cannot make that cycle I just made going through with that little drop-in fireball if we don't have the drill speed upgrade. Come on, crabs, drop me some holy crabs. Golden crabs. They did not. It's unfortunate.
That's okay, you just need to not get hit.
Yeah. To be honest, they're mostly useful on the final boss, where it's kind of impossible not to not get hit.
Oh, that was a clean room.
Yes. I'm not very good at doing these, if I'm being honest.
We have a 280 Hong Kong dollar donation from Slushy. No comment there, but thank you very much. It is much appreciated. Every little bit helps.
Now I'm trying to think of what the Hong Kong currency is. But thank you all the same. We really appreciate your donos.
That's about $50, so thank you very much.
Nice. Here's the scientist. For the seashells we collected in the deep sea domain, he gives us... Sorry, they were mermaid shells. He gives us the lucky amulet, which you may have noticed looks very similar to a fusion stone, if it was stuck inside of something. And we're going back down to the warp room because it's quicker to just teleport up to the forest village than it is to walk there. And I didn't mention it earlier, but the genie that we saved was the daughter of the mayor of the forest village, and for saving his daughter, he gives us 50 gems.
That takes us up to 400 again.
Excellent. It's more than we need. So by handing the fusion stone over to this genie, the only one whose name I forget, she gives us the restore dance, which does a few things. Primarily, it will heal 2 full hearts, and I got the name wrong, it's the refresh dance. Anyway, it heals 2 full hearts, so that's 8 points of damage. It will also turn stone monsters into their real versions. Okay, I'm going to yes, whipping speed. God damn it, I did it again. I keep forgetting to jump. And also the refresh dance will wake up the man we saw that was sleeping over by the bumpy fossil, because I can't remember what it actually was. Barnacle. That's the lumpy barnacle. And I gotta make sure that I once again don't get the heart squid of shame. Whew, I didn't get it. When I was practicing, I picked it up more than once. So, you may recognize these scientists as the ones we helped earlier, and I also cannot mash through these cutscenes because if I do, it may get me another screen that is just pure black. Fortunately, it's easy to navigate that black screen as we just have to dash twice and then jump and dash. And you just got a quick glimpse at Squid Baron, the greatest character in the franchise. He just wants his own game, but to make his game, he needs us to collect for him the 3 Dagron balls that will allow.
That's my favorite show.
So with the 3 Dagron balls, he will be able to create his own game that will have a really attractive female squid just hanging out in a tube while it attacks the player. You didn't get to read that, but it's important that we know that for events that happen later in the game. There's another side of Lobster Girl, the only time we don't scare her. Yes, that is correct. There are 5 Shantae games. The first one is on the Game Boy Color, and the rest...
It's really late into the Game Boy Color as well. Like
yeah, it was like at the very end of its life cycle. I think it was one of the last games on it.
Yeah, just this cute little passion project game. Gorgeous artwork even in that game.
Yeah, it was very good for its time. Yeah, that's one of the great things about this entire series. It has great artwork and it has a lot of fun with itself. There's a lot of great humor in these games. If picking up the Dagron balls didn't give that away. These series do not take themselves very seriously, and it's one of the things I love about them. So now that we've collected the 3 Dagron balls for Squid Baron, he gets out of the way and lets us into the third labyrinth. The only one that I think is actually called a lab. Yeah, it's the only one that's called a lab. Seven's lab. And this is my favorite dungeon in the game, because when this game first came out and everyone on the Way Forward Discord was getting together to try and route the game out, this is where we first found out of bounds glitches and stuff for this game. Unfortunately, unfortunately those glitches all pretty much got taken out in one of the latest patches for this game, which is just a big shame. I would have been willing to learn proper out of bounds and down patch this game to show that off, because it's very fun. Unfortunately, the load times in the original patch of the game were abysmal. Like, this, with the past load times, this run is 10, maybe 15 minutes faster than the old out-of-bounds route.
So not even an SSD restores those times or anything?
No.
Wow.
So you just saw another benefit of the refresh dance that I didn't mention earlier. There are certain enemies that if you use the refresh dance on, it will turn them into allies, or it will just outright destroy them. In that case, it makes those little lizard enemies on the walls shoot gems at you instead of big balls of death. Yeah, try the loot times. They got fixed. They honestly, they probably still could be better, but they're nowhere near as bad as they used to be. It's good to see Triaz Unit in the chat there. He is the world record holder for some of the Half Genie Hero Pirate Queen quest runs. My personal favorite speedrun in the Shantae series. Even if I don't run it anymore. So I didn't mention it earlier, but since this is the no out of bounds category of this run, and there are still some ways to get out of bounds even with the good ways removed, playing through this game is basically just playing through it as quick as you can with as much skill as you can. Right now, Fire Striker, I don't run any other Shantae games, but as I said, I used to run the... Oops, I screwed that jump up. I used to run the Half Genie Hero Pirate Queen's quest run, and I'm just going to give myself a full heal, because we're coming into the first risky boss that may actually kill me. Particularly that attack, because it does 6 damage now, I believe.
Ooh. That's as much as half your life bar.
Yes, it is.
Really seeing the benefits of those DPS improvements.
But giving it to me twice that quickly? Alright, that was a pretty good risky 3. What usually kills me on that fight isn't risky. It's I get hurt by her until I've only got 3 hit points left, and then I run into that little skull guy on the ground in the next room. So we just got the Bonker Tortoise, which allows us to go through these stone blocks here and gives us a speed dash along the ground. No spark dashes, unfortunately, though. That would look really cool with this turtle, though. Or whatever the things are called in Metroid.
I mean, every Metroid enemy name is like a Warby Top.
The names of the enemies in this are pretty good in my opinion. Though all of them are basically some form of man or gal.
Oh, shoutouts to the Donkey Kong barrels here.
Yeah, pretty similar. And here's the second heart squid of shame. Right, I got past that. Trying to get a bit swag in a spot that I usually fail at getting swag. So this is another room that's on its own cycle. And we can get through it pretty quickly, which I managed to. If we don't get through that fast enough, we will get crushed. And it will not be pretty. Actually, it will be pretty, because it'll be an explosion. So, right now we're just making our way to the boss of this dungeon as quickly as we can. And avoiding all those large pots that have gems in them is unfortunate, but at this point we're pretty good on gem count for, well, most of the game until the end.
So I presume you just avoid health upgrades because they've long cutscenes, so
yeah,
you've got more health.
Pretty much. We used to get
around not eating.
We used to get health upgrades when the route was first getting set up, but that was because we weren't sure what we'd need for the final boss and to just play it safe. But once we figure that out, it's nope, we don't get any heart squids, we don't get any of the iron ores, we don't get any of the bonus stuff. So, coming into the third boss, TUBEWORM SIREN, the parasite petting princess. This has 3 phases. The first 2 are the exact same, where it sticks its head out of the ground, and we just have to hit it. And the third one is, well, you'll see it when we get there, but it will go into the ground, and we use our bonker tortoise to smack it out of the ground, and then we just slam into it with our hair whip, and you guessed it, our super pike balls. And he got 2 extra hits off. Alright, so here's phase 3. Get a good look at what she really is. And thanks for the raid, HS Blue. Really appreciate it.
Got the Dojo Summer laugh. That's the good stuff.
Alright, and it just takes 3 cycles of this, and we're donezo. And after this, we're coming into what I have dubbed the worst fetch quest. I'm not sure if it's in all games, but it's definitely the worst fetch quest in this game. So, to get into the next dungeon, we have to get a spooky doll for a ghost lady. To get that spooky doll, we have to get, I said we didn't collect any iron ore, but that's because I mixed up the name with something else. We have to collect 3 iron ore. We don't collect any nuggets, they're an optional thing. Anyway, we collect 3 iron ore, which will allow us to get a something door that I can't remember the name of, which we can then trade for a manly door, which we can trade for a scary door, which we can trade for a spooky door, which we then take back to the ghost lady.
So no Yoshi doll to get a bow for your chain chomp.
Though we do get some decent music. I screwed up a jump. Screwed up a jump because I didn't jump. I forgot it was coming. This area does have my personal most hated enemies in it. So you may have noticed the spiders. The spiders deal 1 damage if you get hit by them, and their attack deals 2 damage. But the red spiders, on the other hand, deal 2 damage if they hit you, and 6 damage if their bullets hit you. Yeah, I'm just gonna let those go by. So, many a time a run of mine has died to a red spider shooting me. So here's the ghost lady. She instantly gives us a fusion stone. Fortunately, we don't have to do anything for that. And there is a little glitch I'm gonna try and get when I'm heading to the next, to Armor Town. It's just a fun little glitch that happens if I dash. Yes, I got it. Where'd I go? Whoops, did not want to do that. And I'm going to go through it again in Armor Town. I got it again. So, Zappo here, once again, we give her a fusion stone, and once again, we get a genie power. This genie power is lightning. It will hit almost everything on the screen, and there are some switches and things that can be activated with lightning. Or Spark Dance. I am very good at remembering the names. And here we meet Armor Baron, the brother of Ammo Baron. And Ammo Baron was one of the previous villains of the Shantae games, and because Armor Baron is so attractive, Sky instantly thinks he's got to be a much better guy than his brother. Shantae's a bit suspicious of him, even though she's willing to do a job for him. But he claims that if we bring him back 3 iron ore, he will be able to make a invincible armor for us. He also gives us a codex, which we take to the mayor of Arena Town, who gives us Melba Toast. And what do we do with Melba Toast, you might wonder? Well, if you remember earlier, I said that Bolo was kind of hungry, so maybe we should give it to him. And for giving Bolo the Melba Toast, he gives us some nuts and bolts that he once again tried to eat. And now that we've got those nuts and bolts, we can activate 3 windmills. One of which we were not able to activate before unless we repaired it with the nuts and bolts. Trade secret, if you walk out of the screen and walk back into it, the sand that the ore is in instantly disappears. So, you know, if you've ever got to remove sand, and lots of it, just walk away a bit and come back. So I came out of that new dash a bit too early. So now that we've got the 3 ore, we can take them to Armor Baron, and he'll give us the most invulnerable armor he can make for us. But it turned out to be a trap! As the armor made it, we were invulnerable while we were wearing it, but we couldn't move. So he put us in blister packets and sold us to Squid Baron. Alright, if I time this just right, I should only need to do 2... Yes, I did it good enough, so we only needed to do 2 spark dances. If the timing on that was off a bit, I would have had to hair whip the eyes. As the gimmick with the eyes is you have to hit them once before you can actually deal damage to them. So now that we've got out of Squid Baron's man cave, we can head back to Armor Town, and as you may have noticed, in Squid Baron's man cave, we collected a doll. We give that doll to this fine gentleman here, the jewel-stained doll. He gives us the Branson doll. We also go back to talk to Armor Baron because he never thought we'd escape. And to convince us not to beat the ever-living heck out of him, he gives us 100 gems. We give the Branson doll to this guy, who gives us the Manly doll. Talk to this guy to sell our excess cards, 60 gems, that's about average. And we give the Manly doll to this guy to get the scary doll, which we can hand into the ghost to let us into the fourth labyrinth. But before we do that, just do a bit of purchasing. And we just get the increased, yes, we get the final hair speed upgrade. Yes, I got the visual glitch where the lightning stays on the screen. It does absolutely nothing, but it looks cool. So now that we've been... So go ahead.
I assume you're getting the final damage upgrade as well after the next dungeon?
No, we don't. We do not get the final damage upgrade. We do not get any more hair upgrades. So, we've come into the fourth labyrinth, which is, if I'm being honest, my most hated labyrinth. And we'll get to why later. We really want one of these bat gals that we see to drop their cards. Don't care so much about the zombie guys. Or the skeleton guys. I turned all my alerts off. I don't know how that went off, and I apologize to ASM. I turned off everything that wasn't on the scene I was using. But thank you for the follow. Oh, okay, good. Well, as long as chat didn't hear it.
Yeah, it doesn't look like that picked up anywhere.
Okay, so we have to use Seer Dance in here to get these switches to appear, or to get the order that we're supposed to put the switches in the previous room to appear. So in this case, it's Shield, Tentacle, Skull, Fire, and we need them to appear because we can't brute force it. I already forgot what it was. Shield, Tentacle, Skull, Fire. Yeah, you can't brute force it. I don't know why you'd want to. There's like 4 times 5 to the power of 6 combinations, so good luck with that. If I'm remembering how to do that right. So these spooky ghosts are the reason I hate this dungeon. Because if you run into them, you take 4 damage. And it is very easy for you to accidentally die against them. It's going to heal again because we're coming into another risky fight that can actually kill me, which is why I'm going to take a safety save there. I believe her dash attack does 8 damage in this fight. Fortunately, though, we have these handy-dandy little areas behind her that we can get in and still hit her with both our whip and our spike balls. There we go. So it was an alright fight, all things considered. So now we release Harmony, who gives us the Sea Frog medallion, which allows us to, you guessed it, swim in water.
Oh, I thought it let you see the food and eat it.
Well, that might be more useful. Alright, let's see if I can get this off. Whew, that is actually a harder jump than you think.
Yeah, shoutouts to Mario 3 Frog here.
I'm gonna take this room a bit. Yeah, I'm just gonna take that room a bit safe because I don't want to have to restart from the beginning. If I get hit by anything when you're underwater, you instantly explode and have to restart the room again. I probably could have made that. Alright, last chance to get some Batgirl cards from this dungeon. Unlucky. So the reason we want the Batgirl cards is because they increase the damage our Lightning Dance does, and that speeds up some of the later forced fights we have to do. Not think I was going to make that.
So I don't think it's been discussed before. What are the means of replenishing magic?
Their enemies drop little magic pouches and items. Most of them heal some amount of magic or the magic potions.
Right, so Metroid style.
So all of those little things I was collecting were gems. So there is quite a few gems pickups in this dungeon.
Good thing you weren't chased by, say, 4 ghosts during that section.
Yes, quite. We'll get to that bit later.
Oh no, there's the dots you gotta go over twice. This is Rain Maze.
Okay, so I'm going to repeat myself about 20 times right here. Shield, shield, tentacle skull. Shield, shield, tentacle skull. Shield, shield, tentacle skull. Shield, shield, shield. Shield, shield, tentacle skull. This is the room with all the ghosts in it. Shield, shield, tentacle skull. Shield, shield, tentacle skull. Shield, shield, tentacle skull.
Hey, cut that out, Luna. Don't be a poor sport.
I'm not looking at chat, so...
Ah, good. Wise decision. They're trying to throw you off.
Right, shield, shield, tentacle, skull. Alright, now I don't need to repeat myself. I have forgotten that one more than once. Ah, almost got the triple. Unfortunately, there is nothing else like that in the game where I have to remember seeing something and go back 5 or 6 rooms. I'm pretty sure this game is not Japanese. I'm pretty sure. Actually, I don't know. I have
Way
no
more
idea.
than a Japanese developer.
Yeah, so I have no idea what country Way For It are from.
Well, from memory, both this and Half Genie Hero have some animation outsourced to Studio Trigger.
So this is the anglerfish siren, the deep sea creep. So she goes back to the background where we can't hurt her and attacks us, and she comes to the foreground where we can hurt her. Ideally, I want her to come to the foreground at the bottom. Not. That was unfortunate. You did exactly what I didn't want her to do when I was talking about it. The reason I don't want her to go to the top two platforms is because you have to get into a very specific spot or her eyeballs will hit you and you will take 4 damage a hit. And they will hit you multiple times.
Oh, it's the boss patterns from Guilty Gear.
But it's very easy to hit her if she's in the middle or the bottom one. Yeah, and you've pretty much seen all of her attacks. She'll bring up a 3 illusionary eyeballs and 1 real eyeball that you have to hit the real one. You have to just duck under her laser beam attack, or you have to collect all the gem pickups. I'm hoping she doesn't give me a lot of gem pickup ones, because while getting the extra gems is nice, they do take time.
Alright, there's 2 games in Remix. Check out Raymain, the Taito game. It's like Pac-Man, but there's cyberpunk light cycles and laser guns.
Oh, there we go, there's Slurry. Bad average for me. Is this the Pokeball? No, I already had the Pokeball, that was the first one. Okay. That has never happened to me before. I think I went out of bounds, and yep, that's a reset.
What?
So we have to go right. We have to go back to the risky fight, unfortunately, but that's not too far back.
We did it.
I mean, I have gotten out of bounds in other unique ways, but not like that. It's a good thing I saved at that risky fight. And there's another little glitch where you duck in the air.
Everybody, we present to you Video's Game.
Yeah. There's not the most useful glitches in this game anymore, unfortunately. There used to be a great glitch in here where we could cut out about 3/4 of the dungeon.
Was that an version with the terrible loading time?
Yep.
Still?
We used to be able to cut out like 80% of the final dungeon. Darn it, that was just a second too slow. Alright, well, since I'm just going through areas I've already done, if you would like to read off a dono, go right ahead.
I would love to read off a dono, so everybody hit up donate.ozspeedruns.com. We are raising money for Beyond Blue, a charity that raises awareness and support for mental health in Australia. It's a great cause. So head up donate.ozspeedruns.com. We also have a bunch of incentives there is a bidding war on which character players in a hat in time. Currently, Hat Kid is winning. So if you'd like to see Bo Kid get those donations in, there's a drive to get the short hike to get bonus again. Shoutouts to the Nyakaza in a hat in time. A short hike is another incentive game that we can bring in as an extra game into the set. Similarly, there is an extra category for Ratchet & Clank Deadlock, the New Game Plus solo co-op. Unfortunately, circumstances that prevented the original co-op plan. There's an option for playing asteroids during Bioshock 2 Minerva's Den. And, of course, unlocking the world's hardest game.
And everyone should want to see the world's hardest game. I want to know just how hard it is. So, you may or may not have noticed, this repeat of rooms did get me the Batgirl card, which will help for later on.
There we go. You still need to remember all the passcodes?
Yeah, it's gonna be different.
You much of a fan of dot-eating games like Pac-Man? Raymaze?
Yeah, I like Pac-Man. It's a fun game.
Okay, what are your thoughts on Pac-Man 2, The New Adventures?
I think I've only seen people speedrun it, but I liked what I saw.
Oh man, you gotta play that game casually. It's exploring that game.
That's, yeah, that's an actual 3D one, isn't it?
Ah, no, that's Pac-Man World you're thinking of.
Okay.
Pac-Man 2, The New Adventures. Definitely, you should play that game without looking it up.
Okay, so shield, I got the same thing, shield, tentacle, skull. So I guess I was wrong. Still have to remember it though. Just gonna get that guy to move over a bit. Shield, tentacle, skull. I'm quite positive even if I tried to put that in, it still wouldn't have worked. I'm quite positive you need to have seen them to be able to put the code in. That third one. It's always the third one that gets me. Alright, so I'm not going to hold down in those water phases on the boss. That might have been what did it. Or it might have just been this game being this game. I honestly don't know.
Now, there is a save point right before the boss, isn't
there? There is.
Excellent.
And I will take it just to play it safe.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, take 2. Anglerfish Siren, the Deep Sea Creep. So this boss has 3 attacks. One where it shoots its eyes at you like lasers, one where it makes 3 illusionary eyes and 1 real eye that you have to hit, and one where it comes to the foreground of the stage where you can easily hit it. And I suppose...
one attack that puts you out of bounds.
Yeah, and one attack that breaks the game. That would be this one.
At a lower platform this time.
Yes, I did. Pokeball!
Yeah, that's definitely just Ian's Megalomania from Guilty Gear Double X. Alright, here's our first bout of Raymaze.
Well, I don't want to go out of bounds in this run, because it's not what I'm supposed to do, try.
Losing via ring out.
Oh, nice. Gave me a pretty good fight this time. No tops. And that is the end of that fight.
Great.
So, now we have another fetch quest that's kind of long, but not as annoying as the last one. We have to go collect some bracelets, take them to a ghost dog, which will turn them into a power rod. Then we have to go take that power rod to get it charged. Then we take it back to the ghost dog. No, then we can take it to where it needs to be plugged in. And then we get quick warped back to the ghost dog. And this is also the bit that when I was practicing a lot earlier, that I'd generally forget to do. I'd forget some part of this. Wait, I'm going the wrong way. This is the second part of this big quest. You saw nothing. Well, you do get some banger music down here. So here's our ghost dog. Who gives us a dog color. Yes, the way to tell which is the real eye in the fight is it is the first one that spawns.
So is the dog the true mastermind behind everything in this game as well?
No. No Silent Hill here.
Come on, Shantae. Can you really just sit here and eat pizza?
If only. I don't know why I ever charge up a dash, a bonker dash on that screen. You don't want to use it, and I always do it. So we're about to enter the area that has the music I enjoy the most, though others in the Way Forward Discord disagree with me, but it's their choice. They can be wrong. So we give the fusion stone to Harmony, and she gives us the Quake Dance, which will deal big damage to everything that is touching one of the walls. And we instantly have to use it to collect something in the room right behind her. Because the Quake Dance will also move certain blocks. So we acquired the right bracelet. I jumped too early. Dash just before going over that little dash, so we avoid the shots from the red spider instead of taking 6 damage. Yeah, this game has got a great art style to it. And there I just took 6 damage, so it's gonna heal up. So fortunately there is a quick way back to Tree Town from here. Also, Quake Dance deals 999 damage to the stone enemies. So up in Tree Town, we're going to make our second last purchase, our last upgrade purchase though. We're going to buy the Scimitar. And we're also going to completely stock up on health and magic potions. Now we're going to take those braces that we got back to the dog, and we're going to find out something special about the dog. Turns out this ghost dog wasn't a ghost dog at all. It was a ghost genie. So, you know, not the main villain of the game, though the main lawgiver, I guess.
So why does she go back to being a dog? Is that just?
I don't think she. I think the law is that she can't hold the form because she's no longer alive.
Yes.
She doesn't. I think we find out in Half Genie Hero that all the genies gave up their magic to save the world from something. I can't remember. It's been quite a while since I've played Half Genie Hero, or this casually. But you know, maybe it's just that she just likes being a dog. If I could be a dog, I would be.
Seems legit.
The orders of the game are Shantae on the Game Boy Color. Then it is...
Pirates Curse?
No, that's the third game. I can't remember the name of the second game, but it goes Shantae, the second game, Pirates Curse, Half Genie Hero, and then Seven Sirens. I've never played the second game, that's probably why I don't remember it that well.
Yeah, I think it's... Risky's Revenge. Yeah.
That's it, yeah. So now with the rod charged, we can take it. We can go back, not to the dog, but past the dog, to use the power rod to open our way to the 5th dungeon. And I got the visual glitch again.
So if there's 7 sirens and there's 5 genie friends which is 5 genie powers, then does that mean we get 2 dungeons where you have the full power set?
Well, one of the sirens is not a bad guy. The lobster girl that we've seen poking her head in watching us is not one of the bosses. Take that, Tinkerbat. So, another swimming room where we collect... I probably did not take that in the most optimal route, but I honestly don't know what the most optimal route is. Well, if I had emotes, I would appreciate that, but I don't. Fortunately, we get teleported back to the entrance to the 5th dungeon, Labyrinth.
No, it's the VVV teleporters.
Right, so this dungeon is kind of, if I'm being honest, this crap. It's the dungeon where they gave up partway through, because it is just 8 forced fights in a row.
Sometimes you just gotta meet a deadline, mate.
Well, I've got a deadline to meet, so this is one of those times. So, after we defeat each room, we have to use Spark Dance and collect a key. So, whenever there are red spiders in the room, I am just going to use Spark Dance, because I hate red spiders.
What does the spider card do again?
I have no idea what the spider card does. I only know what the cards that I actually care about do. But the spiders, their orbs do 6 damage, and 2 hits from that is enough to kill me. So I don't want them anywhere around me.
Cool, congrats on that crab card drop.
Yes, it's an extra 10 gold, or gems. Ooh, nice, a golden crab. I want to get as many of those as I can. And you're seeing Scimitar in action right now. It just constantly deals 2 damage to whatever is in front of it. Or whatever it's in, I guess. Yeah, so we're just doing fight after fight after fight. If there's any donations or anything to read, now's a great time.
Oh, once again, we are all speedruns. We are playing through games quickly to raise money for Beyond Blue, a charity that raises support for mental health issues in Australia. Donate by going to donate.ausspeedruns.com. I guess I'll also mention that matching any subscription with a $2.50 donation. So if you've got, say, an Amazon Prime account without any free Twitch sub, but you can use it there to help contribute to a great cause. There's a bunch of incentives that you can donate towards, including bringing a short hike into this event, bringing the world's hardest game into this event. If you really want to see Spyro the Dragon be a gross yellow mustard color, I strongly recommend donating to that as well. You can choose green or red, or just the default purple for Spyro, but I think you want to see that yellow.
Hey, thanks for the subscription. So these red wet guys are the main reason we wanted the Batgao dance, Batgao card, sorry, because it makes them killed in 2 spark dances, which is quicker than the regular way to kill them, which is 2 quake dances. And let's go into some food. Did not mean to do that. That was a waste of time and magic. But it got me a golden crab, so I guess that's something.
Do certain spells affect what the roll is going to be?
Sorry, what was that? I couldn't quite hear.
Do certain dances affect what the drops are going to be from moment?
No. That was just lucky.
So, every battle is over now. Is this the 4th or the 6th or the 8th?
I think this might be the 6th. The 6th, I'm pretty sure. Uh-oh.
No, it's a blue spider, you're good.
Oh no, uh-oh, because I ran out of mana. Yeah, that was the 6th. This is the 7th, because I can see the entrance we came from above us. Ooh, nice, another golden crab.
Gotta say, I'm really impressed with the puzzle design of this dungeon.
Yes, it's quite good. This one, not so much. I mean, learning how to do these quick is a fun challenge.
That is indeed a puzzle.
Not a second too soon on that one.
Alright, final room. Let's go.
Just gonna play it safe here because it would kill me if I got a bit careless. Now, hopefully I didn't miss any of the spark dances, because I did that once in practice.
Yeah, I think you're good.
Yeah, I'm good. And the timer stops once we turn that off. And we're just about into our final risky boots fight. And this time her dash attack will deal 10 damage to me, so I can't get hit by it at all. Sorry, just playing it a bit safe.
Any changes to the moveset in this fight? Or is it...
Yes, she has one additional move. You might get to see it. Probably will. She usually does it after this one. Well, she usually gets a chance to do it. I've never had her not do it. There it is. And she didn't even get to finish it off. So we save Fill in the Blanks, or Roddy Tops, our zombie friend, and she gives us the Ject Octo, which allows us to triple jump. And allows us to get up to the boss of this dungeon, who's at the very top of it. And you might want to remember a certain aspiration of one Squid, Baron about a video game style boss he wanted to make. And I am actually going to need to concentrate on this boss, because it requires memory.
Alright, good luck defeating the Dagrons. Yeah, smash out that crane.
Okay. Yeah, so as you may have noticed, the way that fight goes is you use Seer Dance to figure out what order of the small brains you have to break before you can attack the big brain in the jar. And if you hit the wrong brain, they all come back and you have to start over. Scared me for a second. Took Shantae like a second longer before coming out. So this is the escape portion of the Metroidvania, where we have to get somewhere within a specific set of time. Well, actually there is no time limit on this, so it's a bit easier than even Metroids, where you have an extra year to achieve your escape. But we do have these stronger enemies that deal 6 damage to you if they hit you. So it is easy to die if you're not careful.
So I'm guessing the triple jumps are faster than the U-dash?
Yeah.
Upwards?
Yeah, for going upwards, definitely. They're also just a bit easier, because you don't have to hit the dash button again. You can just hit X, and if you're doing an octo jump, and you hit left towards the wall, you will instantly turn into a newt on it, like so. Okay, so we're into basically the final part of the game here. We've got to defeat 4 more bosses, but it's technically just 4 of the same boss. And then we get the final dungeon. And here comes Lobster Girl, who shows that she's actually a good person and she wants to help us out. But she can't talk. Most of the community, I think, consider in this game Lobster Girl to be the best waifu. My PB is a 150 something, and I'm pretty sure the world record is a 147 something. I can't remember off the top of my head. So, the game does give us a little bit of a hint to where all the towers are. If there is a windmill, if there's a windmill, then that generally means that the tower is above it, except for the one that you had to get the nuts and bolts for. And the strat here is we tank the damage and beat the crap out of the core.
Is this just the same fight 5 times?
4 times. They do more damage as we go on, and the patterns of the lightning is slightly different as well.
Alright.
So while we're coming through Armor Town, just so that we can walk back to Arena Town, we want to sell off any excess cards we got. 240 gems, that's good, that's more than enough. So I'm pretty sure this one deals 3 points of damage. Though I'm also pretty positive this one is the easiest one to dodge its attacks on. So I jumped a second too early there.
Poor Risky's minions.
Yeah, well, they knew what they were getting into when they decided to work the risky. I was wrong about that one. That its lightning bolts being easy to dodge. I think I just got an unlucky pattern. Oh well. The last one. Sorry, just got something stuck in my throat there. The last one is coming up, and it is the easiest one to die against because it does a full heart of damage.
The falling tortoise animation is very good.
Yeah, it is. Alright, and that's the tower fights done, and we get another quick walk back to Arena Town, fortunately, and then we're going to do the final purchase of the game before we head into the final dungeon, which is actually pretty hard, mostly because just about every enemy in the dungeon does at least 3 points of damage, whereas most of them deal 6 points of damage.
Guys, look!
And now Loves the Girl here shows off her special siren power. She can make teleporter pads. So the final purchase we do is we buy 9 auto potions, which will restore us to max health if we die, 9 super potions, which restore max HP and MP, and we just restock up on our health and magic potions. Yeah, got my visual glitch. And the final dungeon is probably also my weakest part of the run. Like that. Every time I dash in there and try and jump, and every time I hit the wall. Just gonna wait this out. There is a cool little jump here. God damn it. There is, however, just a boatload of saves throughout the section, so there's a lot of chance to make up for any mistakes you make if you take the saves. Was not supposed to do that. See if I can pull that off how it's meant to be done. Like that.
Now, of course, it's still a few games away, but we do have the Hat in Time donation incentive. To decide, are we playing as Hat Kid or Bow Kid? That's the start going. You can go to donate.speedruns.com. Money is going to Beyond Blue and charity as well. Awareness and support for mental health.
We have some more forced fight rooms. Dying isn't so bad here because we have the auto revive potions, but I want to save onto as many of them as I can for the final boss.
Safety saves for a marathon.
Oops, did not mean to do that. I let go of the Bonker Tortoise. Second too early. Okay, clutched that. That. It's an easy forced fight room. That golden crab. I appreciate it. Some jerk birds. That was accident, but I'm also glad I... Damn it! I was about to say I'm glad I did it because I did not mean to charge a Bonkotoidus. Alright. Oh well, these things happen. Oh, that's one of my potions used, so I've got 8 left. Just gonna play this room safe. This would be the Mario portion of the run.
I don't know, what frame roll are we on? Oh, more of these space pirates.
I think this is the last forced fight of the game, but I could be wrong. Another benefit of having the Batgirl card is it means that these thrower enemies here take 3 Spark Dances to kill, instead of 2 Quake Dances and a Spark Dance. And the Spark Dance animation is just generally quicker than the Quake Dance. Clutch that, because it dropped my jump input, as it is known to do for me.
We have $75 from Leo. It simply says 11K, that's right. We have reached $11,000.
Nice.
Thank you so much, everyone, for your contributions.
So it really does mean a lot. I'm gonna play it safe with these spike balls, as they are slightly differently timed than all the other ones. No, I was wrong. It was not the last forced fight. There we go. Just waiting for those other enemies to appear. Nice, another golden crab. Is the equivalent of a super potion for me. Jerkbirds being jerks. I might have been able to make that, but I didn't want to risk it.
Oh yeah, that would have been very clutch. Good call.
There's a nice little thing you can do here because Scimitar is just wide enough to hit that switch from that side, allowing us to skip out half of this room.
Nice.
Right, and there is also another skip in this room that I'm going to go for just once because I'm not very good at it. Now, see, that's my bad habit. I accidentally hit the nuke dash too many times and dash back into the barrel. If you do it right, you can go you can nuke dash underneath the two barrels and use your octo jump to get across. Alright, that's 2 super potions I've used. I've got 7 left. Okay, and we're coming into the final boss. There's one thing we have to do just before it though, however. We find out that the mayor was actually Risky Boots, and we use any dance we have to break that prison cell we're in. We use Refresh because it's the quickest, and the boss is Empress Siren. And so the strat here is rather simple. When she's doing those fan-like attacks, we jump into her because hitting her deals 2 damage to us, as opposed to getting hit by the fans, which deals 6. The same with the orbs. The orbs deal 4, but she deals 2. And basically the strat here is to just whip her as much as we can, get Scimitar off on her as much as we can, and not die as much as we can. That's 6 potions left. There also used to be just an absolutely horrendous sound effect that played when those 2 orbs that spin around the room hit each other. That was something else that got fixed in the patch.
So is time until you defeat the boss?
No, this phase, this boss has 2 phases. I got 5 left.
Come on, Jack, give him your energy. Get this run done.
4 left. Okay, I'm getting a bit careless here, but it's fine. This portion of the fight is actually harder than the second portion.
Yeah, Shantae does need more power there, Jack.
Okay, so that's phase 1 done. Now we go into phase 2, which is Giga Empress Siren, I think it's called, or it might be Mega, I'm not sure. It's a really big Empress Siren. So the strat for this next fight is there are floating rocks all around the screen that we use to get around, and we have to destroy the various gems that are on her body, but only certain ones light up that can be hurt. So in that case, like that. And the small orbs deal 4 points of damage, the big one deals 6. So I've got 4 left. It's good to know. Really appearing for me in good places. This is really good luck. Okay, so we defeat the 3 on her head. These ones can only do the small orbs, they can't do the big orbs. After we defeat the 3 on her head, we get the 2 on her earrings. And then we get the 1 in the middle of her forehead, and time will be when there is a big flash on the screen. It will mean that I've destroyed it, and I can't really give you a countdown on it, it will just happen.
It'd just say time and I'll hit the stick.
Yep. And I'm kind of getting pretty poor rock placements. Yep, I got 2 of the lasers off. You can get none, but I got pretty poor rock platforms. It should be on the next cycle, though. Time.
3. Alrighty, 201.56.
That's pretty good considering I got that one out of bounds that caused me to reset. I mean, I could have done way better, but it is what it is. I'm underestimate, and I'm not 15 minutes ahead of the estimate, which is also good.
Yes, congrats.
Right.
A win is a win.
It is. Alright, so we just got the final cutscenes that we'll skip through, and the credits we'll skip through, and we'll get the end of game pictures that we get for beating the game and beating the game at super fast speed. And then I'll do once these are out of the way, I'll do a bit of shout-outs. So we have Congratulations for completing game clear in the fastest time. Incorrect. Anyway, I'd just like to shout out ASM for letting me be here, and letting me run here on this event, on Fast, on ASM 2020, letting me help out as in the background and as host. Really appreciate you doing that. I'd shout out to the entire WayForward community. We have a WayForward speedrunning Discord where you can find all the Shantae games along with all the other WayForward games like River City Girls, and a whole bunch of other ones that I can't remember off the top of my head now because I haven't played them. Shout out to Pinchy for hosting for me, really appreciate that.
Yeah, it's Pitchy.
Sorry, Pitchy, sorry.
Just a mate of mine was having a giggle at the Pinchy earlier. No worries, it's all good.
And a shout out to Vought for saying well done to me.
Yes, well done. Thank you very much for that run, Megas.